Somebody who's going to make a lot of money out of it. Yeah. What are we going to get? Nothing. We're not going to make a lot of money out of it. We're just going to break even. Well, how about when we double the price of parking? So now we've taken over $1.5 million a year just in parking. How much do the residents pay a month times 12 to find out how much we take in? And where is all that money going? It is not that much of a losing proposition if it is done correctly. And if it is not, no matter what decision you make, it will not be done right. The people who are making the money are the contractors who you hire. They will make the money. The people who will make the money are the people who rented the store for us. Under what the proper fee should have been. When Benny came to you and offered you $15,000 a month, you all looked at him and, what? You're going to give us that much? One person said, well, if they're willing to give us 15, we should ask for 16. You know, wow, But we're collecting a lot of money down at that beach, and we should be collecting more. If it wasn't for you people sitting up there and in our back room, who insisted on taking less because the people couldn't afford it. But you notice they all took 2 stores. No, I didn't see anybody crying about that. I don't see anybody crying today, except the people of Lake Worth. As you try to customize the beach and make it a profitable organization, we have got to make money down there, yes. We cannot afford to subsidize that beach any more than we can afford to subsidize the golf course, which incidentally we just wrote off $1 million loan on. Yeah, that's right. We can find places and we can give everybody money. But boy, when it comes to the beach, oh no, that's going to be paid for by you and I. How about the baseball field? Are they paid for? No, they're not. We are paying that. We are paying for the lawn maintenance on them. We're paying through the nose for lawn maintenance on them.
Thank you, sir.
Is it my buzzer to work?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. I'm surprised you didn't knock me out.
Money. Mr. Lipton, followed by Barbara Aldel.
It's a tough act to follow me. Anyway, this is my first meeting. Welcome to everybody here. I own Benny's on the Beach, and I guess I got here about 2 years ago, and we've done, you talk about like a lot of things happening down there. We're doing whatever we can possible for Lake Worth. When I bought the place, we had 21 employees. Today we have 76 employees. I sit here and I listen to everybody talk about the second floor, and I kind of put a smile on my face, whoever Oceanside is or whoever these other people are, whatever. I can promise you that I looked at the space up there. And there is a reason when you say something like, well, everybody's getting this or that. Well, if it was so good, then why isn't there a line waiting a mile long for the space upstairs? At any rent, let alone a cheap rent or whatever. I'm never a believer in cheap, okay? I would much rather we live in a beautiful place with a great situation and everyone's fair, okay? Just fair. There's no reason to have to spend this money for parking. There's no reason to have not enough parking spots. There's no reason to have an empty space up there. We should have a great area where everybody goes. And I have to be honest with you, I haven't had a chance to look too deeply into any of these things. But if there's somebody who wants to come into town and invest $100 million or whatever into the area, and it gets to a point where everybody can do well. And I have to tell you, these people sitting, I don't know past history, but I do know that nobody in their right mind runs a budget other than the United States of America, where you're already losing on day one. Okay? So no matter what, there should be a business, it should make sense, and it should be good for everybody. You know, did anyone do a case study, if this happens, how many jobs there would be? I mean, I can tell you, if I have 75 jobs, you know, I'm looking at, I bet you there'd be about another 200-300 jobs there. I mean, I would guess, I don't know, something like that. This is all just the evolution. Guys, have you seen that pool? It's embarrassing. Okay, it's embarrassing. I mean, it doesn't mean what do I mean by it's embarrassing? It's embarrassing because what it could be. Okay, it could be great. We could live in all this, and it could be great. And I would disagree with something else I heard. I really do believe there should be a lot more things in Lake Worth for Lake Worth people. And I don't think it should, I think it should be better designated in this next situation.
Thank you, sir.
Okay? Thank you.
Herman Robinson? Oh, I'm sorry, Barbara, oh, sorry. I jumped ahead.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you.
Yes.
Barbara Awful, South J Street. I'm gonna say something I said a number of years ago, and it holds so true tonight, where the tropics, Lake Worth, where the tropics begin, and the discussion never ends. We have discussed this blessed topic out the ass. We went, I'm sorry, that's such bad language. We have done some crazy stuff. I have watched it be discussed a million times. We all agree we need the beach. Everybody has said here, there's no way we're ever gonna sell the beach. So let's stop alluding to the fact that someone's gonna sell the beach, or maybe it will happen, and I want it for this person. You know, we really have to make it a reasonable space. I do weddings for a living. I'm a wedding florist, have been for a couple of years. I've turned it full-time, done 43 weddings since January 1st. I can tell you that that space is unusable for any wedding I do. I was for St. Regis today, you know, doing the planning for a wedding, like even as small venues that we do. That is not a reasonable space. It can be reworked with the upstairs, and if some vendor is willing to come and do that and make that usable, it has the view that we could sell it. I've had brides come to do small weddings and gone with planners, and they're like, you don't even bring us back here. Don't bring us back here. No place for the bride to change. No thing, you know, no place for the first look. No place for vendors to set up. The electric in the kitchen is horrible, and it exists from extension cords. There was never a hot water heater put in that construction, so there was no hot water in the kitchen available. So, I mean, the list goes on and on. As my husband is an electrician was up there when we did a function for the Centennial and nearly had a stroke when I hit my head on the extension cord hanging from the ceiling so we could plug something in. So, you know, we did a bad job. Whatever happened, that did not work out. God bless the commercial space. I hope they all are doing well. Benny's, God love you. You are doing a bang-up job with Benny's. And make a substantial change to make that second floor work at all. And the parking structure in Miami Beach that was discussed in the Post for West Palm this week. It's an amazing 3-story or 4-story structure down on the beach with the most amazing event structure upstairs. They show movies, we've done weddings, it's amazing. It's protected from the rain but open to the air. That would be an amazing, the parking lot, the lower parking lot would be an amazing place to put an event space like that. You want to be a regional destination, we want to continue to make this jewel shine like we should have been doing for the last God knows how many years. I was at the grand opening in the pool and heard the mayor that day speak about redoing the beach building, because back then it was already a piece of crap in the early 70s when the pool opened. And here I am at 57 years old, still talking about the beach. Like, please, if we're going to do something about bringing commercial, let's do a reasonable project that benefits everybody. The access is there, the space is limited, please, let's move forward. We have the electric to worry about, we have code enforcement to worry about. Don't let poking the beach get in the way of everything else.
Herman Robinson, followed by Joanne Golden.
Herman Robinson, I hope that Lake Worth isn't opposed to outside ideas or ideas that will improve our beach. We have recognized that it needs improvement. It needs to be self-sustaining. If it isn't self-sustaining, you people have been elected to set policy, to provide amenities to our community. You should know what we have there. We can go back over history, and what is. And you should know what the expenses, the income, and I expect you to not be affected by the hysteria of people talking about selling our beach. We need to be consistent. We ask for ideas and then reject ideas. The pool needs improvement, the upstairs needs improvement, but you have the responsibility. You 5 people should take the responsibility to cut the bullshit of politics and make it sustainable, because it is an amenity. And we have to provide a quality of life in our city, and whether it doesn't make money there, you have to come up with the policy that we can afford to maintain the beach that we all love. And really, we spent 20 years building the building. The building's built, deal with it. If it needs improvement, if it takes public-private partnership to do it, do it. But please don't spend another 2 years talking about it.
Joanne Golden, followed by Roseanne Malakis.
Joanne Golden, 502 North Conway. I don't know which one is working, so
So
I'm gonna,
both.
there we go.
Just both not well.
I love Lake Worth, and as all of us do here, obviously, we work to make this place a great place for all of us to live. And that commitment is what brings us all here tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's possible for all of us to love one another, but as good parents, think about their children first. We should think about the little piece of planet that we have in Lake Worth and our beach first. Sustainability isn't just about being able to provide a piece of property or providing water. It's also providing safety and a community that we all love. It's hard to think that we don't have a CO on this building, and that hopefully there are negotiations being taken place between the builders and the architects, because that is a problem, and the city should not let that go by the way. These people built the building. They promised us a building that would work. I understand that the building leaks, that you can't go upstairs because water pours down the stairs. The elevators will get wet. This is not something that was in the plan. This is something that was built improperly and should be addressed so that we can provide a space that's safe for everybody in the community. We also need to sustain our beach and our land. And it's very hard to see where more building and more space being taken up with parking garages is going to do anything to provide space on our planet for people to play and enjoy the beach. Everybody says, well, we need more amenities at the beach. We need to have all kinds of swim currents and all this and that. And I go over to the beach the other night and I'm looking and I go, there's the playground. It's the beach. It's the sand. And we need to preserve it, and we don't need any more buildings up at the beach. We need to fix the property we have. We need to get the people responsible to live up to their word. And we need to get the building in the proper place so that we can rent those spaces upstairs, so that we don't have electric wires hanging, and we do have a usable kitchen. So please forget going on with any of these proposals. What we need to do is take care of what needs to be fixed and do it soon And then we could talk about something in the future, but we cannot use a building that's in that condition right now.
Roseanne Mellegates, followed by Fran Abraham. Welcome.
I'm just amazed. I don't know how you would tackle such a thing. If you can see all the problems that have happened because of the projects that went on before, that how you can proceed without the proper studies, the impact study, not only parking, the whole impact. And I mean, all this talk that we're doing without the right information doesn't make any sense. It's, but for you to sit there and be able now, in hindsight, to see the mistakes and have the confidence to go ahead and do another big project and think you're going to have it right without the proper input from the people that really should. The people that write the contracts, the people that design the spaces, the impact studies, feasibility, is it even feasible? Does the, going across the bridge, how much traffic does it take? This is a big deal. You can't just say yes without any kind of studies. Anyway, I wouldn't like to be in your spot. It's enormous. But what I want to say is about the pool, we all know what pretty tropical pools around hotels look like. This is a pool to teach the kids how to swim, which we have done. And it's surprising when I heard them offer a junior Olympic pool. Anybody that's involved with swimming knows there's two kinds of pools, long course and short course. Anybody knows that there has to be a certain depth for them to dive in. It's not a pretty pool. This pool is meant for the people to swim when they can't get in the ocean. It's not for for parties, and there should be no food on it. It should be for swimming when you need to have your swim and exercise. And you can't get in the ocean because of sea lice. Thank you.
Thank you. Fran Abraham asked me to read this. I hope this commission will remember what happened with Greater Bay. Be very careful. There was no need for a convention center on the beach. It's fine the way it is. Laurel Decker, followed by Ginny Powell.
Laurel Decker, North D Street. I think we spend a lot of time commiserating about the past. We spend very little time talking about solutions to the problem that we have. We have a financial problem, and yet we're not talking about financial solutions. We're talking about outsourcing. Maybe you confused selling with selling out. Nobody I know is talking about selling the beach, but people have talked about selling out. So, that said, I think there have been some misleading statements made. The manager said that the beach is not paying back the loan. I think that's not correct. The beach is paying back the loan, not at the rate that was planned, but I'm pretty sure paid back $250,000 this year, not last year.
No.
So in this year, you mean 2015?
The current fiscal year.
Okay. Well, it shows in the numbers that you sent me that it was $250,000 in 2014 and $250,000 this year. It's also paying back the interest. I think that putting more development on the beach is a long-term solution to what I think is a short-term problem. We don't even have one full year of operating the financial information from the beach that's been audited. We have a spreadsheet, which I appreciate, the manager sent me, but it's not audited. It's not true yet until we have a financial statement from auditors. So we're jumping the gun to go ask people to give us plans to build something on the beach because we're losing money when we don't even know exactly how much we lost yet. We haven't even looked at the numbers to see what we can manage to make things better, okay? And Mr. Tim was wrong. In 2012, I believe, we forgave $1.89 million in debt to the Gulf Fund, that the Gulf Fund owed other city funds. Okay? But we're not setting our hair on fire over that. We're setting our hair on fire over numbers we don't even have yet. So, and the manager says that I'm pitting one fund against another. Well, I don't agree. I think that if we're going to forgive one fund $2 million and it's gone, we're never gonna see that money from the Gulf Fund. We at least should give the beach a chance. We should work with the numbers and figure out something to do until the leases come up again. And we can do something then. 10 years is not a long time in the life of the city.
I just want to comment, Ms. Decker has graciously offered to serve on a kitchen cabinet group that I have of 3 people who are actually going through the finances and the spreadsheets with staff. So I just wanted to recognize her, and I appreciate that.
Jimmy Powell, followed by Greg Rice.
Good evening. Jenny Powell, 224 North Palm Way. I apologize, my notes are a little bit jumbled. I've been jotting things down as this meeting has proceeded. I'm a resident of the city for 28 years. And I think for many years, I was waiting for something to happen at the beach. So I was very happy to see something finally happen. And I think the people of the city had a lot did a lot to make that happen and for it to be essentially the people's beach. There seems to be some problems. There seem to be some problems, or some people that have raised questions up here about the problems at the beach were some of the very people who had a part in the design of that building. So, you know, I don't quite get that, but let's, as John Golden said, let's focus on what is the minimum we can do to the upstairs space to make it viable for weddings, a restaurant to move in. I mean, right now, it's, I don't know if it's generating anything, maybe a little bit, but it doesn't sound like it's suitable for much of anything. It's got a lot of problems. What is the minimum that it would cost us to fix it up? That just seems crazy that we're not doing, you know, we're not picking the low-hanging fruit here. My understanding is, a comment was made about, you know, all of us, we own a house, we have to pay it back. Of course, that's the same for the city. Well, we don't pay our houses back in 3 years or 4 years or however long the beach has been open. It's not that long. Granted, I understand there are concerns, and those concerns need to be addressed, but, you know, it just seemed like a relatively short period of time to start being, you know, too upset about it. I don't know. I'm not a fiscal specialist or a financial analyst or the city commissioner. You all are pointing out some definite deficiencies and problems and shortfalls. One thing that I've heard discussed is that we raise the parking fees by 25 cents an hour. And the parking is bringing in a huge amount of money, or it appears to be. I mean, I walk up there on a busy weekend, and I'm saying July 4th or something, cars are backed up over the bridge. They cannot even find a parking space. They can't even get to the beach, which brings up the whole issue with the traffic study. I mean, parking is one thing, but people can't even get there. At the last discussion over the ITN process and the proposals, he raised an issue about being able to get, you know, emergency vehicles in there to address any, you know, people, you know, a drowning victim or, you know, some problem, some physical problem at the beach. So that's pretty much what I want to say. I left a few things out, but I say try to work with what we have, spend some money on that,
Thank you.
Make the golf course self-sufficient, make the pool, do some things to promote the golf course and the pool.
Thank you very much. Greg Rice, followed by Barbara Jean Weber.
Greg Rice, I live in probably the second most popular building in the city, besides the casino that we serve. As Retha said, this ball's been kicked back and forth for a long, long time. Yes, we all have fond memories. Everybody in this town has fond memories of something that has taken place in this town. I mean, I have also fond memories of when I drive by St. Mary's Hospital, because that's where I was born and that's where my son was born. But thank God it's not in the same condition today that it was back when I was born there. The memory's still there, though. And so we all have that. But we have had commercial development on that beach forever. If you look at the early pictures of the casino, I mean, rumor has it that there was even gambling performed over there. There's a lot of people today that are disappointed that there's not still gambling over there. They get pissed off the fact that they parked at the bottom of the hill, tracked all the way up there and found out there was no slot machine. And yet we're advertising it as a casino. Yes, in fact, we do want public space. We want the residents of Lake Worth to be able to enjoy that public space. And on the weekends, you can't find a parking place over there. You couldn't find a parking place over there on the weekends when we had that old two-story look like a dentist factory or something over there during the 4th of July or any weekend that there was good weather. But what we've got to focus on, not just the ballroom that rents out on the weekends for 2 years or whatever, we got it rented out. What about during the week? Come over during the week and see what's going on over there, especially in the summertime. And that's when we also need to think about it. Nobody's mentioned any of that. We need to have things that's going to draw people over there during the week as well as the weekends. I mean, we could charge $10 an hour for parking on the weekends if we had the technology to be able to change those parking kiosks or whatever. And people would pay it. Because the people that are over there, for the most part, as Mr. Maxwell said, aren't people from Lake Worth. They're from people from all over, north, south, east, and west. They're people from all around the county and around the state or whatever that are using that. And yes, I do want them to enjoy the Lake Worth experience as well. But we have got to think about more than just the existing problems that are over there and all the other things that have been discussed here. I too want to hear what's going on. I would love to hear what's going on and hear the proposals by the folks that presented submitted those proposals. And I can tell you this, the $20 a square foot, that what was being offered, I think, for that space upstairs, oceanfront property, a $13 million real estate project that we have over there with no land costs. And we still can't rent out an oceanfront property for $20 a foot. I'm paying more than $20 a square foot for an auto mechanics garage out west of the turnpike. And one more suggestion, why don't you have whoever's on back come up and stand in the batter's box? Maybe speed this process up a little bit.
Thank you.
Because